Our emotions play a massive role in how we spend the money, how we save the money, how we protect the money, and also what is our attitude towards money. And so talking about money, this month's book is about Psychology of Money by Housel. Let's divide this book into 4 sections. We should not really judge people based on their behavior and attitude towards money. We can never earn enough money. No matter how much we have, we always strive to get more and more. Instead, it's important for us to understand and know that when is enough. Next point is luck and risk. So the understanding of these things can bring a great level of humility, because when you try to understand that not everything is within your control, you tend to learn life better. Remember the janitor story which I told you earlier? I'm going to tell you the rest of the story now. So that janitor who amassed $8 million, and people only came to know about that when he died at the age of 92, what was he doing? He was investing money all his life, and he was earning on that investment. And he never showed that to people, he never expressed that. He kept on working on this job, a very ordinary job in daily life, and he died. Now, compounding really reflects on the importance of time and patience. If you have the time and you are a bit patient, it's extremely beneficial to look into how you can compound your money and how you can earn on it. Another example, Warren Buffett, right? He's a billionaire, as you all know him today, but most of us don't know that he started investing his money at the age of 11. Yes, when most of us don't know what money is and what we're doing with the money, he started investing that money at that very time, and that really helped him to earn that money. And interesting enough, he started earning most part of his money after he reached 50 years of age. That's where the money graph has really gone up for him. So when it comes to making decisions around your money, always make those small actions, consistent actions, which can lead you to yields in due time. Chapter 10 talks about saving money. We all have seen that happen around us. We all have heard about that as well from our parents, from our elders, that the importance of saving money, and always is good to save something for the rainy days. And there's value in it, because the moment you realize that I have some money saved up, it gives you that freedom which you don't really get if you don't have that money. So the way to go about it is, whatever you're earning, always put something aside and save that money as well. So when you're in need, you don't have to look around people to help you. Actually, I have a system to help me save money and also see where my money is going. If you would like to have a look at it as well, do let me know in the comment section, and I would be happy to share my free template for you to download. Another interesting thing which I learned in this book is that nothing is free. Any decision you're making, any financial decision you're making, it always have a cost. For example, when you talk about opportunity cost, which means that if I'm investing my money today in, let's say, stock A, whatever happens with that money, I cannot use the same money and put in somewhere else. There's always a chance of that money doing really well for you, or perhaps not doing very well. So if you are with that mindset, putting that money aside or investing or whatever you're doing with that money, always keep in mind that it's not going to be without the consequences of it, and so you should be ready for it. Alright, so far we have looked at our attitude towards money and how really our attitudes towards money are shaped. Then we have looked at how we behave towards our money and in terms of saving and the rest of it. Now let's look at our attitude towards spending. What makes us spend our money, and what's the best way to spend our money? So in chapter 8, Morgan talks about man in the car paradox, which is about how we really look at people with money. So for example, you have a friend who has a lot of money and they really want to buy this luxury car because they want to show off to people that, okay, look at me, I have this new car, I have this brand new sports car, and so that proves that I have a lot of money. But have you ever imagined to which extent that would bring you happiness, or perhaps to which extent that would really make you feel fulfilled? Some of us might be a lot, some of us might not be. And that really defines our attitude towards money, and also how we really spend our money. Because we need to see what things in life really brings true meaning and value to us. For example, if I tell you about myself, I have seen those times as well where I would feel really good if I have something expensive on me, but equally I've seen that happiness or that feeling is very momentarily or that time, because after some point that really loses its meaning. So we need to see, are we doing whatever we are doing for the external validation, or we are doing what we are doing for internal validation because we want to be happy within ourselves and not just to show off in the entire world. Because at the end of the day, not many people would remember that you had that sports car. However, if you've done something really good for yourself, something fulfilling for yourself, you would have a good, happy, content life, and people around you would also enjoy that. Always question your motivation behind buying these luxury fancy things. Why are you buying these? To make people impress or for your own self? Now, many people can get wealthy, but it's not always easy to stay wealthy, which is a point in the next chapter in the book. The minute we tend to get more and more money, we tend to lose the sight of what is important and what is not really important in our lives. Here, I would like to share the example of Mike Tyson because it fits really well about being wealthy and staying wealthy. Mike Tyson, name well known in the world for his fights in the ring, and as a result, he earned a ridiculous amount of money. So what he did, when he earned all that money, he built this massive mansion in Connecticut. And the biggest feature of that house was, well, I should rather say mansion, the biggest feature of that mansion was this $1 million bathtub, which was made of pure gold. Not only that, he also owned 3 Bengal tigers named Kenya, Storm and Boris, and he was spending $200,000 in annual food budget for these tigers. And these are just few things I'm sharing with you, and of course as a result we have seen later on his life and his struggles with money and other problems as well. So knowing that you have the money and also knowing when you have to stop spending the money is also the key to live a happy, successful and comfortable life. Another point which I really relate to myself is the freedom money can bring you. Now, if you really look at our lives, what brings us happiness? Well, you might say your friends, family, money, comfortable life, quality of life, your passion, whatever. But if you really look at the bottom line of it, we feel the most happy when we can control our own time and when we can control our own life. And that is the massive benefit money can buy. If you don't have to worry about how to earn money, where would you be earning money from? Imagine your life where you'll be spending the time with all the things you love. It could be your friends, family, passion, hobbies, anything you want to do in life, because you don't have to think about how and where would you be earning that money from. And that freedom is a massive thing money can bring you. In the beginning of my YouTube journey, I used to watch Tim Ferriss's video, and that would really make sense to me. He's also written this book called The 4-Hour Work Week, which would be incredible if one can strive to do that. And he's also learned that with time that yes, I have earned all that money, I've built all the systems, and I'm running this business successfully. However, now I need to do what I like the most with the freedom I have because of the money I have. So once you have the money, getting the freedom is the vibe we are looking for. In chapter 9, Morgan talks about wealth is what you don't see. Now, some of us agree with that, some of us don't. You would see many people who have lots and lots of money and they don't really look like they have the money. It doesn't look like they are the most affluent, most rich people. On the other hand, sometimes you see people who don't perhaps have as much money, but they always pretend to having all that money. Another sign of successful people with lots of money is that they don't really show their money. The reason being because first, they don't want others to feel that they have all this money and the sense of inferiority to others. Also, they believe that having money is one thing, but showing off is not cool. So the key lesson from this is that having money doesn't mean that you'll be playing with diamonds and you'll be running around with all these fancy things, but it's about how much freedom and control that can bring you over your own life. So the final section is about protecting money or perhaps seeing money in the real world. And the first point here is being reasonable versus rational. Now, there's some decisions in life which are reasonable to us, but they're not really rational and don't really make sense to others, perhaps not logical enough. I'll tell you my story here. So I've been somebody, since I've started working full time, I am in the habit of not really borrowing anything. For example, I don't like taking things on installments. I just try and pay lump sum so that I don't have to think about paying my installments monthly or whatever. Now, the reason being because that's what I've seen throughout, that is such a burden if you have that money. It's such a burden when you know that you have to return that money to somebody, because I've seen that growing up around me. And that has really made me the person that, okay, I don't want to borrow that. I'll just try to pay full amount if I have the money, right? But for some people, it's very irrational because they always tell me, why are you putting your full money in it? Why you're also not really helping yourself to build your credit rating and the rest of it. But it really brings me that ease and peace of mind as well. So I still try not to do that. So some situations, some decisions are reasonable but are not rational. And so we need to see what really brings us peace of mind. It might be not reasonable for others or rational, but it's okay as far as it's for you. Another important thing to remember is that you would change. So for example, today, if you're thinking of traveling the world, tomorrow it might change and you might want to invest your money in your house. So always try to build those financial plans which are flexible enough and which won't really make any problem for you. And Housel suggests the same, that be flexible with your financial plans so that you have the liberty to change that at any time and you don't have to think twice considering you don't have enough money. And finally, always be ready for any change, any surprise, and know that there's always room for error. When it comes to matters around money, things are so fragile and uncertain because these are changing all the time, locally, globally, and most of these things are beyond our control. So having a plan B always helps us not really fall in the blind spot, but make sure that you are in good control, not only of your money, but also your life. And that was it really. I really hope that you also liked this book as much as I did. Do let me know in the comments section what books you would like me to review next time. Meanwhile, I'll see you next week with my weekly videos. Up until that time, take really good care of yourself and I'll see you then. Bye.